Today we're pairing chicken moambe and green matoke dumplings. It's a nice, nutty, creamy, rich chicken sauce with soft and crispy matoke and maize dumpling. Chicken moambe is usually made with smoked meat, so buy or make some smoked chicken firstly. I smoked the chicken here with some dried bitter leaf greens for a few hours while I got ready with the rest of the ingredients. While the chicken gets high in its little hot box, prep your veggies. I was using up old veggies in my fridge, so here we have 1 medium onion sliced, 1 frozen celery stalk finely chopped, and a sliced carrot. I also used the tough core of a cabbage, some garlic, and some old dried chilies. Since there's no real recipe here, use whatever you have in your house, as I was just trying to use up some leftover produce. Fry up all the veg, excluding the onion and garlic, until soft on a medium-high heat with regular stirring. Add the onion and garlic and cook until the onion is translucent on a medium heat. Throw in some tomato paste, maybe like 2 tablespoons or so, and fry with stirring until everything browns a little. Loosen everything up with about 2 cups of water and throw in some seasoning, and in my case I use some bay leaf, some salt, and some black pepper. You could also choose to blend the sauce at this point like I did with the stick blender. I also threw in some stock powder for a bit more richness and flavor and let the sauce cook through while I fried up the meat. Remove the chicken from the hot box and fry in some oil on high heat until golden and a little bit crispy, making sure to fry both sides in turn. Once full of color and flavor, drop the chicken into the sauce, cover with the lid, and let it cook for at least 20 minutes on a gentle simmer. And while the chicken cooks, we can focus on the dumplings. Boil 2 to 3 matoke in some hot water for about 12 minutes and immediately transfer them into cold water to stop them from overcooking. Once cool to the touch, peel the skins off, making sure to scrape off any fibers and strings that cling to the fruit flesh with a teaspoon or a small little knife. Rate about 125 grams of matoke flesh and set this aside. Boil a cup of water together with half a cup of butter or oil, some salt, and maybe a tablespoon of mfushwa. Once boiling, dump in about a 3/4 cup of maize meal, the grated matoke, and stir vigorously to completely mix the dry ingredients into the liquid. Cook for a few minutes with constant stirring until everything pulls away from the pot and makes a loose dough. Remove the pot from the heat, cool down the mix for about 2 minutes or so before stirring in 1 egg completely. Once the egg is incorporated, repeat the process twice more with 2 more eggs. You can also fold in half a cup of grated mozzarella cheese at this point, but that's entirely optional. Scoop up all the dough into a piping bag or a Ziploc bag and let it rest on the counter for about 30 minutes. And now back to the stew again. Chicken moambe is named for the use of moambe, which is the cream or extract from palm nut fruit. We combine this extract with peanut butter and hot water before stirring into the chicken and the rest of the sauce. Cook on a low heat with frequent stirring, as the peanut butter will want to stick to the bottom of the pan and eventually burn. Cook for about 20 minutes until the sauce is thickened and some oil from the moambe starts to separate from the rest of the sauce and floats on top. Skim off any of this excess oil with a spoon, and while the sauce develops further, we return to the dumpling dough again. Snip a hole about 2.5 centimeters wide across one of the corners of the Ziploc bag, or use a 2.5 centimeter piping attachment to your piping bag. Bring some water to the boil in a pot and snip off 2.5 centimeter lengths of dough into the water with a pair of scissors for about 1 minute. Allow the dough to cook for about a minute longer and then remove from the water with a slotted spoon and set it aside on a baking tray greased with some cooking oil. Repeat until all the dough is cooked through and then fry it on all sides with some butter or some oil, maybe seasoned with some garlic as well. The dough should crisp up on all sides while remaining soft and fluffy on the insides. Plate and serve with the moambe stew. Enjoy with your hands. Pamsoroing.